Hey, folks, welcome back to Earth Sky. I am David Dalian, and today we are going around and even above the world, the whole thing, the entire globe, and we're going to be looking at some of the best pictures of the edgewise view. So we're looking into the disk of our Milky Way from seen here on Earth. And these photos, these are spectacular photos. These were taken by the winners of the 2025 Milky Way Photographer of the Year contest. This is a contest sponsored by an outfit called Capture the Atlas. And we have their co-founder and chief photographer with us, Dan Zafra, and he is going to tell us about it. Dan, welcome. Welcome. Glad you could make it.
Hi, Dave. Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, very excited about talking today about our recent Milky Way Photographer of the Year.
Okay. Well, you know what? Why you're going to tell us later how we can see more of this, but right now let's just jump right in. Let me get right back over to the right spot and get on with the very first one. And this is going to be, oh, weird. Oh, the wrong one. I forgot to reset. This is the one we want to start with. Now, this is a view that we've all seen, but not like this. Tell us all about this, who took it, where it was taken. And this is our winner, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an amazing shot, as you can see, and a very unusual way of see our galaxy, because it's a strange. The Milky Way looks the same, but it's obviously taken from the globe, from space. And this is a very special image. It was captured by NASA astronaut Don Petit. He's an experienced veteran NASA astronaut. He's been to space in many missions over the years. And he actually returned to Earth, I think about 3-4 weeks ago. He landed in Russia after a few months in space. And lucky for us, apart from a great researcher and scientist, he's a photographer as well. And he took his camera, a lot of gear, and he's been taking a lot of astro images from space over the last year. And he's been sharing that on his social media, all the channels. And yeah, this is one of his images, the one he took from the International Space Station, where we can see our Milky Way galaxy and our planet Earth, just underneath. Like I said, it's a very special image. And even though it looks like a very simple single shot, it was actually quite challenging. As you know, the ISS is orbiting around Earth and it's moving very quickly. It's moving at, I believe it's around 18,000 miles an hour. So it's crazily high. In 90 minutes, it's doing an entire run around the Earth. So for taking this shot, he had to use a special device called like an orbital tracker. So it's like a star tracker where you can keep the motion of the stars. And for that reason, you can see the Milky Way with the stars like pinpoint stars. And then on the Earth, you can see some of the lights like streaks, kind of like when you see a star trails. And that's because the ISS is moving super fast. And he used this special tracker to capture and freeze the sky. So apart from a beautiful, very special image, it was technically very challenging. And for us, that's why this image is on top of the list. And obviously, it's very difficult to repeat for obvious reasons.
No kidding. So, you know what? Very quickly, your company, Capture the Atlas, is sponsoring this contest. And you folks teach people how to take photos like the ones we're going to talk about, but not this one. And you do tour places, but not the ISS. So we can't offer you a trip to the ISS yet anyway. But we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about Capture the Atlas in a minute, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so why don't we move on to the next one? We've got a really spectacular second image. That's just something else, I think. Tell us about that. Tell us what we've got here and who took it, where they took it, and what's going on.
Yeah, this image was taken by a very talented Swiss photographer. Her name is Angel Fuchs, and she is based in Switzerland. So she has access to beautiful mountains like we can see here. And she took this crazy idea of capturing a double Milky Way arch. And that's something I'm going to explain now. During last March, and yeah, the special thing about this image, apart from the location where we can see the Matterhorn, which is probably the most iconic mountain in the Alps, is also the Gornergrat Glacier and that beautiful winter landscape. The special thing about this image is capturing the double Milky Way arc of our galaxy. And the only time frame where you can do that in the Northern Hemisphere is in March, late March, and also only during the new moon. So you need a lot of conditions. Basically, when the stars align, having a new moon, having no clouds, and having like a all in one night. And that's what she did. She climbed the mountains with a lot of gear. She very cold, and she captured this incredible image where we can see on the left the kind of what we call summer or the Milky Way core and the Milky Way arch. And then on the right side, you can see the Orion winter Milky Way arch, both of them, and then some zodiacal light in the middle. So this picture kind of have everything. When we think about the northern hemisphere night sky, everything can be summarized in this image.
You know what? If you haven't noticed it, if you're not, I don't know why you wouldn't be familiar with the Matterhorn. It is on the right-hand side, right underneath that would be the winter arc, winter for us in the northern hemisphere. And so there's the iconic image, and we have an endorsement from Jeff Baker who says Capture the Atlas does great workshops. So he you've got a fan in the audience, at least one. So why don't we move on to the next image? Here it is. Now this one, for me, I really like this one. This is extra special. It's familiar. You got a lot of telescopes up there, but this one's different. The when, I guess, on this photo is what's special. Why don't you tell us about this? Where was it taken? And what telescopes are those? So first, I guess, tell us where we are, and then tell us what's going on and who did this wonderful, wonderful capture.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. So we are in Chile, and we are in one of the highest and most important observatories in Chile called Cerro Tololo. Is a Spanish name for this place. From the outside, it looks like one more Milky Way image from an observatory that you can see in Mauna Kea or all these places. But there's something unique in this image, and that's on the right side where you can see the observatory on the far right. There is like a small glow, like a tiny dot of orange. That's actually the eclipse moon. So if you think about this image, a few seconds, maybe a few minutes before this image was taken, there was a full moon, and this image would be completely different. Probably you will have like a blue sky with a few stars, but you wouldn't see the Milky Way as clear. You wouldn't see these emission nebula, these colors. It will be completely different. All of a sudden, the moon gets totally eclipsed, and then we can see the Milky Way in all its glory in this beautiful location. This observatory is located in a very high altitude. That's why you can see the strong air glow, the orange-green air glow, the nebula. I mean, it's like an incredible shot. Yeah, and very special because the conditions were also unique.
Yeah. So, yeah, once in a lifetime capture. This is not something you can do anytime. This really had to be planned out well in advance. And I suppose that's something you guys do over there at Capture the Atlas, is tell people how to put these kind of things together when there's going to be in this case, a planetary alignment between the moon and the Earth. I suppose we can call it that. It's an alignment in any case.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ISS image was a special one, but here is my favorite of all. It is spectacular. We've got another event under the stars in progress. Only this one's a bit fiery. This one's a bit more hot. Tell us what's going on here, Dan.
Yeah, so here we have
in Guatemala. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's in Guatemala, and it was captured by a local Guatemalan photographer. It's called Sergio Montúfar. He's a professional astrophotographer, and he does an incredible job taking the Milky Way in very rare locations. And one of them is this picture. This volcano is very prominent. It's in a city called Antigua in Guatemala. And the main highlight of this town is the volcanoes in the background. There are two volcanoes, Volcán de Fuego, which is the one erupting there. It's an active volcano and probably one of the most iconic volcanoes in recent times. And also there's another volcano, and it's called Acatenango, and that's where he took the image. So he climbed a volcano, which I think is inactive, otherwise it would be too risky, to shoot another volcano. And I think this picture is like everything in one shot. And it's actually a single shot. So there is no tricks, there is no tracking, there is nothing. It's one single shot. I think it was a few seconds. And there you have a volcano with all the ash plume. And then the Milky Way on the right side. I mean, there's no words to describe the image. You just have to look at it because it's a phenomenal image.
It really is just an astounding image. And I can't believe he didn't do anything but set his tripod or monopod down and grab that. What what an amazing capture. I'm flabbergasted. Jeff
Yeah.
Baker says it's very cool. Thanks, Jeff. So anyway, I suppose this is also something you teach people over at Capture the Atlas. Why don't you tell us about your company? Tell us what you guys do over there briefly. And we are running out of time. Well, we're getting toward the end. So quick, tell us what you guys have over there and tell us how we can see the rest, because there are a lot more of these images to look at, and they are in full resolution on your site.
Yeah, in a few words, I mean, our mission is to help people, capture the Milky Way, learn about night sky photography, and especially Milky Way and astrophotography. That's our main goal and mission. We do that in our website through different articles, guides. We do workshops in the field all over the world for doing this. And for checking all of the work we do, all astro content, you can check capturetheatlas.com. That's where you can see all the information. And for checking the rest of the images that we selected, this year we had 25 images. You can go to capturetheatlas.com and you will find all the images there. All the images have the story behind the shot, because for us, it's not only the image, also the story about the photographer, and also the EXIF details. So if you want to freak out about, the ISO, the gear that they use, everything is explained in the article, where you can see the photographer, story, and then all the detail and the data that they use.
You even have some tutorials there that people can look at, don't you? You don't
Yeah.
have to sign up for. Now you could. You guys go all over the globe, and you don't just do astrophotography. You do other, nature-based photography, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, we do everything: landscapes, a little bit of wildlife, but our main focus is usually astro, mainly Milky Way and northern lights, and that's what we are specialized in. And yeah, we do all over the
Yeah.
world, so from the US,
Yeah.
South America, anywhere.
And I see you've been down in Death Valley. That's apparently where Jeff went with you, and that's not too far away from me. So out there by Vegas is only a few hours. So I might come out and join you, Dan. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever you like. Yeah, we'll be glad to have you.
Hey, Dan, thank you so much again for joining us. I hope we're gonna see you again every year. We'll see you again next year for some new winners and some amazing astro shots. All right, I'm gonna put you backstage. Hang out, Dan, and we'll talk when I thank all you guys for being here. Weren't those some just spectacular images? Remember, Capture the Atlas is the place to go and check those out. Oh man, this deserves a like. If you're gonna like any YouTube video today, this should be it. So reach down there, hit that like button, subscribe. It's right next to it. You don't want to miss these. And the reason you don't want to miss these is because we are here every day at the same time, which is 17:15 Universal Time. I'm David Dalian at 17:15 UT. That's right now. That's right now. Okay, so we will be back. Actually, I will be back with a pre-recorded interview tomorrow. We'll have Leonard O'Henhen from the Columbia Climate School, and he's going to tell us about a study he did that found all of the 28 major U.S. cities he looked at are sinking, and it's not just a little bit. And yeah, it is something to be a bit concerned about. Thank you, folks. We're going to see you all here tomorrow. I hope. One Earth, one sky, Earth sky. Take care.